Students, how are you? Welcome to our online class, that is AC Motors, regarding to 5th semester C18 scheme EE 503. Our topic is starter and speed control of 3-phase induction motor. Our subtopic is DOL starter working in 3-phase induction motors. Before going to our topic, my sincere thanks and courtesy to all authors for sharing their valuable materials in the internet for the sake of students. Dear students, can you find what is this figures? Yes, it is the induction motor, 3-phase induction motor. To safeguard to this induction motor, we require the one equipment, that is a starter. Okay, so this starter always keep on observe the abnormal conditions at atmospheric conditions to protect our induction motor. Okay, so what is the necessity of this starter? Already we have seen. Okay, let us recap what we have seen in previous classes. So, we have seen methods of starting 3-phase induction motors. In that we have seen the direct online starter means DOL starter. In this starter, the motor is a full voltage applied at starting without controlling of any current or voltage. The starter is used for both squirrel cage induction motor as well as slip ring induction motor. You may get one doubt, sir. So, we are going to control starting current, because as we know that initially the speed of the rotor is 0. At that condition, the EMF induced in the rotor is equal to E2, slip is equal to 1. At that condition, what is the current? I2 is equal to, what is the formula? So, we will see in this one. What is the current? I2 is equal to, rotor current is equal to S into E2 by root of R2 whole square plus S x2 whole square. Under standstill condition, at standstill condition, that means rotor speed is 0, n is equal to 0, then S is equal to 1. At that condition, what is the current? I2 is equal to simply E2 by R2 plus x2 whole square, R2 whole square under square. That means the current is maximum current will flows. Here E2 is a more, due to the standstill conditions, work like a short circuit secondary of transformer. We have seen. So, here at the same time, what is the current? I1 is equal to vector sum of no load current plus I2 dash secondary current referred to the primary side. This I1 current at initially at S is equal to 1, so nearly 5 to 8 times of normal current, full load current. So, this much of current may be damage to our motor windings. Due to the more current in the stator winding may be burn, and also live voltage drop which may affect the other loads connected to the same line to our nearby surroundings. Hence, we require the starter. Starter limits the current drawn by motor at starting. So, how can we are going to limit that current? So, we can limit the starter. by reducing starting current, or we can reducing voltage, current, starting current, or we reducing the starting voltage initially before it is reaches to its starting the motor. At this low reduced current and reduced voltage, if I given to our motor, it is small torque develops. The torque is enough to rotate our rotor. If the rotor increases, Sn value decreases. Hence, the current taken from the supply decrease. Okay, so this already we have seen in previous classes. What are the main functions of the starter? The main functions of starters. So these are the problem. What are the remedies? So that means the starter not only limits the starting current, limits the starting current. Otherwise, it will draw 5 to 8 times of full load current. And at the same time, it can be used to start of our induction motor and stop the motor is possible, just like it acts as a switch, on off switch. And it at the same time, if it is required, I can use this is a automatic speed of control device also. We can control the speed of our induction motor. At the same time, it can be used to avoid the dip of the voltage, which is connected to our nearby distribution line. So these 4 functions of our starter. First one, it will act as the switch on off purpose, limits the starting current, and automatic speed control may be possible by using our starter. At the same time, protected the line a dip drop during the starting period. Okay, these are the main functions of starters. Last class we have seen. At the same time, so we can control our motor, the starting current from stator side, or we can control the rotor side. So either of side we can control the starting current, starting current. This is the 5 to 8 times. This current is limited from both sides, stator side and rotor side. In stator side, we are going to use it by reduced voltage, or we can add the rotor side by adding some resistance in the rotor circuit, that is a slip ring induction motor. In stator side, we can use mainly the DOL starter, star delta starter, auto transformer, variac, that is not the auto transformer what we have seen. And we can see nowadays we are using the soft starters also, that is made up of the solid state devices, soft starter. From rotor side, we can use only one, that is known as a rotor resistance starter. Rotor resistance starter. What is that? We have seen last class. Okay, in this class we are going to concentrate a DOL starter. How this DOL starter connected to the stator and how it will protect our motor from the starting current. Not only starting current, from the overload and under voltage conditions also. Okay, so dear students, we are going to concentrate about the history and internal parts, the functions, working, advantages, disadvantages of all things regarding to DOL starter. Okay, so let us see the objective of today's topic. What is the topic today? So main topic is the objectives. One is on completion of this period, you would be able to know about first one, DOL starter function with current and torque graph versus rotor speed. Last class we have seen, previous classes, the torque graph with respect to the rotor speed. Once again recall it. So we can easily understand what is the significance of this rotor speed and current. And at the same time, second point is DOL starter working with our circuit diagram. And we can derive or we can analyze the DOL starter torque equation. And finally, so we are going to see that what are the disadvantages of a DOL starter. Okay, so let us see one by one. Here, so first of all, before going that one, do you know, because already we have seen in previous classes, what is the use of starter? What is the use of starter? The starter is a electrical device which can control the starting current to a limited value. Otherwise, our motor winding will burn, fails. Do you know the function of starter? Yes, the function can limit the starting current, as well as not only limit the starting current, it can be used as a protective equipment of our motor, and we can operate switch on and off whenever we require it. Have you seen the anytime starter? Yes, I have seen the starter in case of the second year level. So do you know the 3-pulse starter which is used in DC motors? Yes, we have seen it. We have seen that one. So what is that one? So we will discuss small. Now, so we have seen already used 3-pulse starter and 4-pulse starter in case of induction DC motors. Now, so what is the figure? Have you remembered that thing? You can see here. This is a outer view, first case. And if you opened this one, then I can see this one, internal parts. It has a stud, high resistance values, no load coil and overload coils. What are their functions? Already we discussed in second year level. Now coming to the AC side. In DC side we are used for the DC motors only 3-pulse starters and 4-pulse starters. And now coming to the AC side, we are going to use the motors, and in AC motors are different types of motors, mainly induction motors. We are going to use it only in this case the AC starters. That is the, so we are going to use a different of the AC starters. DOL starter, auto transformer, star delta starter. Sometimes we can use the automatic star delta starter and a soft starter, and finally we can use the rotor resistance starter. Variety of the starters used in our AC motors based on our requirement, based on its different applications, the characteristics of the motors. Okay, now, so do you know the DOL starter? What is a DOL starter? So this you can see, this is a DOL starter. Everyone has observed in our domestic, for our domestic pump, domestic motor, half HP and quarter HP generally used to pump the water from the sump to overhead in our houses. Red is the off switch and green is the on switch. Okay, so this is the DOL starter, direct on line starter. That means it is connected to the direct on line, but it is not controlled any voltage or any current. Why? We will see later. What is the DOL starter first of all? So here the DOL starter can be used less than the rating where less than 5 HP AC motors can be withstand high starting currents due to the robust construction As we know that induction motor itself is a robust in construction, constant speed. So, below 5 HP motors we can operate directly, even then it will draw the more current, even that current whatever the heat is produced inside, that heat unable to damage our motor, induction motor. But we require to operate it on and off condition. At the same time, we require to protect our motor with the help of this starter. Sir, you may be got one doubt. Sir, it is not controlling any voltage or current. Why should we have to use it? So, in addition to that one, so we are going to protect our motor from overload and no load condition. What are those, sir? So, we will see one example, a good example for this one. Okay. So, here this is the one thing. So, what are the starters? We will see later. Before that one, we will see what are the different starters generally used in our squirrel cage induction motor and slip ring induction motors, what we have discussed in previous classes. What are the types of starters? Let us see. Types of starters are mainly, so DOL starter, it can be used to directly full load voltage at starting itself. And in case of the auto transformer starter, so we are going to reduce the voltage to the motor at starting. And in third case, we are going to use a star delta starter. So it is also reduced voltage. How it is possible? Simply connections, automatic connection of star to delta. As we know that in case of star connection, what will happen? The current is same, phase current and line current is same, but whatever the voltage, line voltage is equal to root 3 times of phase voltage. That means if it is connected in star, automatically whatever the voltage 400 volts initially, so that is forcefully converted to 400 by root 3, that is the 231 volts we are going to given the line to line voltage initially. That means reduced voltage is given to our motor. So that is enough to generate the torque that will try to rotate our rotor. If the rotor is rotated, slip value decreases, automatically the current which is drawing from the initial starting is reduces once our rotor is increasing near to synchronous speed. Nowadays we are using the manual star delta starter as well as automatic star delta starter also. Okay. So, the starter which is provided inside there is a timer. So, once you are pressed the green button, it is connected automatically in star connection. Then after 5 to 10 seconds, the timer will switch the star connection to the delta connection automatically. Then once it is connected in delta, it is whatever the voltage, reduced voltage 231 volts to 400 volts is given to the motor will runs under normal condition. Okay. So, by using these just connections, we are going to give the reduced voltage to our motor. Okay. These are all three methods: direct online starter, auto transformer, automatic star delta or manual star delta can be used to our induction motor. Squirrel cage induction motor. What is the squirrel cage induction motor? You can see here, this is the one squirrel cage induction motor. Okay. So, it is a simple and rugged induction motor. We can use, so nearly 70% of the motors used in our electrical field is only induction motors. Only 10% of the induction motors remaining is slip ring induction motors. The slip ring induction motor is like a DC series motor, whereas our induction motor, squirrel cage induction motor, like a shunt motor, where we are going to use the series DC motor, where we require the high starting torque is required. At that condition, we can use the DC series motor. Similarly, in AC side also, where we require the initial torque is required more, at that condition I can prefer this slip ring induction motor. Okay, so but it is a costly maintenance is required. So we are going to control starting current in stator from the rotor side by adding some resistance in the rotor circuit. So that type of the starter we can say is the rotor resistance starter. Okay, so these are the, so you can see this is also slip ring induction motor. Okay, so now you may got, so how the physical already we have seen what is the, how the is the auto transformer, how the starterless transformer, and how the rotor transformer. You want to see the physical. Last class we have seen at a glance. You can see once again. So what is this one? This is the DOL starter. Okay, DOL starter used for stator side. For the whether it can use for the slip ring induction motor or squirrel cage induction motor, but we are going to give the full voltage initial itself. It is not reducing any initial current, starting current. Then it can be over. So what is the conditions? So DOL starter can be used only the motors which having the rating less than 5 HP only. Sir, I want that 10 HP, I want the 50 HP, I want the 100 HP. Can I use the DOL starter? No, because it is only meant for low values only. So then what are the different types of starters can be used for the more than 5 HP? Normal auto transformer can be used, star delta starter can be used. Okay, the soft starter also can be used. Okay, what is the auto transformer? You can see one figure. This is a auto transformer starter, nothing but it's a dimmer start or variac. These are the different names of auto transformers generally used in our laboratory for testing purposes, operation purpose of transformers and motors. I think you might have observed in our laboratory whether single phase or three phase. But now we are discussing three phase motors only. So we are preferred for three phase variac, a three phase auto transformer. In this case, so we are going to reduce the voltage. We are going to slowly increase the voltage to the motor, such as that so initial low voltage, low current will flows that may not be damage to our winding. And you can see the another automatic star delta starter. Inside there is a timer. So it automatically converted. Sometimes we can use a manual also. So simply connection of whatever the terminals, OR phase, Y phase, B phase. OR phase has a 2 terminals, Y phase has a 2 terminals, B phase has a 2 terminals taken out from the motor. It is connected to the starter, where the starter it is a mechanism, it can connect star and delta inside. So that's why we are using the star delta starter. Now, so this can be another the starter, that is a rotor resistance starter. So this is a rotor resistance starter. Inside it has a resistance values similar to the 3-point starter. 3-point starter, 4-point starter has the initial resistance, spring resistance. Similarly, here also we have some resistance inside. So this that means here 3 variacs connected inside. That means variac can be controlled the resistance. Similarly, we can control by knobbing. So a knob we can control this value. So these are the 4, and not only this one, soft starter also nowadays we are using in our electrical fields to control, to protect our AC motors, that mainly induction motors. Okay, so what is the not only it control the starting current, at the same time it can be used to protect it. So it does not reduce the starting current in the dual starter. We can ask the OLR and NLR similar to the 3-point starter. What is the OLR? Overload release coil, and NLR means no load release coil, protect from the overload as well as the low voltage conditions. Okay, we will see that also. Okay, now let us see so about this one. a D-volt starter. What is the D-volt starter? What is inside? What is our simple circuit? We can easily understand. Okay, let us see it. So, D-volt starter. The D-volt starter you can see, observe, if you open this one, so there is a inside, there is a mechanism. It has you can see the different coils, hold on coils, no load coils. Next it has the thermal coils, that is the bimetallic strips. Different mechanisms may be provided here, adjustment, current adjustment, everything we will see in details. Okay, the popular method of starting AC motor is a direct online starter, that is a DOL starter. This simply means an electromechanical switch is opened and closed to stop and start the motor whenever we require. It has the electromechanical switch. There is a switch is provided inside. That switch can be operated with help of the relay coil, with help of our electromagnetic coil. The coil will operate just like a relay. How it will switch close the contacts. Here also we can provide some contacts can be closed or opened with the help of the plunger arrangements. Okay, the D-volt starter comprises a switch and an overload protection relay also. Okay, so we can see the one diagram. Okay, our circuit diagram. So this is the one diagram of D-volt starter, where this is the one our induction motor, that is the less than 5 HP motor, and here is supply R phase, Y phase, B phase is connected, 3-phase supply. So nearly 400 volts AC supply, 50H. Okay, AC supply is given here. This is a ICTP switch, iron clad 444 switch is provided. That means here I can use my DOL starter, direct online starter. This starter consists of bimetallic strip inside. We have the OLR, overload release coil, no load coil also NLR. We can see the no load coil. So these are the starter. Now from this input, whatever the input is given to our D-volt starter, and output is taken out from the D-volt starter and given to the stator of our induction motor. Okay, where it has the 3-phase winding distributed. Now, so what is the mainly? So this is a connection diagram of our D-volt starter. Just like it is a variac input, variac output. Similarly, it has the 3 terminals for the input, 3 terminals from output. Okay, so now this all we'll see in details. Now before going to that one, so we want to see that what is the relation between our full load speed at that time, what is the current value, what is the voltage value changes. So last class we have seen, okay, let us recall that thing also. So you can see here, what is happened here? Here, so you are going to see it, this is the speed, okay, this is the rotor speed. Here you can see it, the full load values. What is the full load values? You can see the full load current. So at initially, you can see it at 0 speed. The rotor speed, percentage speed is 0 at standstill condition. The current which is drawn from the supply nearly 7 times of full load, 5 to 7 times of the full load current. It draws the more current initially because the N is equal to 0. Then what will happen? It will draw this due to this current, it produces a torque The torque is, starting torque is this much. Full voltage, start torque. So due to this torque, our rotor will try to rotate. Then whatever the speed S slip is equal to 1. If N is increases RPM, then automatically this slip value decreases. Based on this one, the current value decreasing to up to nearby 70% of the speed. You can see here. So where nearly 80% of the speed, you can see this torque is increasing, current is decreasing. If further increases speed, then what will happen? The torque will goes to the maximum torque. Then the current is going to decreases. If further increase it our rotor up to the nearby synchronous speed N is, then automatically what will happen? The torque also reduced to 0. These all are we already discussed in previous classes. Okay, now at a glance, how the starting current initially more and decreasing, correspondingly how the voltage develops the torque from initial to the maximum value. Okay, at that condition, what is the sample low torque also we can see in dotted lines. From this one, I can conclude that what we have seen. So important points from this graph, we can understand that when full voltage is connected across the stator terminals of an induction motor, a large current is drawn by the windings. That's why it indicated a large current. That's why, so the starting current is equal to 5 to 7 times of full load current. This is because at starting the induction motor behaves like a short circuited transformer. Last class we have seen. So this transformer primary is given here, the secondary transformer is nothing but is shorted. So what will happen in acetus? We are going to reduce the voltage from the here, but in this case we rated voltage is given. Then short circuited heavy current will draw from supply. This is a rotor, this is a stator. That's why it draw the 5 to 7 times of starting current. This high current will, however, be gradually decreasing to its normal value as the motor will pick up speed. So you can observe in the graph. Okay, let us how this is the behavior of the devolved starter. Here we are not controlling the current initially. Current is the same. You can see the what is happened here. The current is same. The current is more, but even that more current unable to damage our winding. Such a way that the insulation is provided. What has happened? The rating below 5 HP, the motor can withstand high starting currents due to a robust in construction. Motors are directly switched on supply lines in devolved starter. It does not reduce the starting current. So it also mainly provides the OLR and NLR coils. OLR means overload release coil. NLR means no load release coils are used to protect the motor from overloading as well as low voltage conditions. What is that one, sir? So for this one I will tell you one comparison. Let us see it. Now you want to know that what is the OLR and NLR. OLR means overload release coil. Okay, this is a no load release coil. No voltage, you can see the no load also, no voltage release coil. So these are the two things. For example, I want to tell it one small analysis. Here what will happen? So here this is a person, yourself, and here is your mummy. Okay, then here is your father. Okay, at the end of the week you are approached one dhaba for dinner. Okay, so dinner you order the, so your yummy noodles or something, anything. Okay, then what is happened? First of all, what will happen? You are preferred here. What you are preferred? So you are preferred noodles. First of all, for example, noodles. Then the waiter will brings the noodles to you in the plates. Before going to eat it, your mother will check the noodle quality. She will check the quality. Okay, whether salt or any chili or everything, whether she will check it. After that, you are allowed to eat this noodles. That means that is the love of affection your mother. Okay, now it is a very good, it is a nice, a delicious. She is allowed, you are eating this one. First plate, second plate, and third plate also you want to demand it. At that condition, your father will enter in the scene. He will observe your face. You are hurriedly eating these noodles, yummy noodles, but you are completed first plate, second plate, third plate, and next you are going to order another plate. But due to the love and affection, your mother is unable to stop you. But your father entered in the scene. Automatically, what will happen? At the time of the fourth plate, he will drag the fourth plate from your side and he will taken away. Otherwise, what will happen? So you are ready to eat this fourth plate also, but after just 2-3 minutes, you may be vomiting takes place. That situation is observed by your father, then you are protected from the vomitings, unnecessary things. But you will think it. So why your father is done? But your sake of your health, your father taken out the fourth plate. That means you are protected from all surrounding situations with the help of your mother and your father. If you are safe, they will be happy. Okay, then if you are safe, then society also happy. Similarly, here, so I want, this is our motto, this is just like it's a society. And here your family, our starter, and this is the waiter. The current is coming, whatever the supply is taken from the nearby pole. In between this yourself, your society or nothing but, and this one, so you are going to your father and mother is always observing, monitoring your situations. How? For example, initially it will come. So initially what will happen? So you are hurry to heat the noodles. Then there is a possible to different situations that be controlled from your mother side. Don't heat hurriedly, slowly you can eat it. Is given by the advice your mother. Okay, she can control. She will keep the ready the water, everything. So that is taken by this your mother. At the same time, instead of giving the 4 plates at a time, so they will order 1 plate by 1 plate slowly. That means instead of 4 amperes, it is coming the only 1 ampere afterwards, 1 ampere afterwards on the slowly. Okay, and that means it limit the orders at a time. So for noodles, chili, chicken, everything is ordered. No, you have to eat 1 by 1. That is controlled by your parents. That means limits the current. Then at the same time, if it is required, So she want to test the quality. This voltage is whether is coming the 400 volts or it is coming the only 300 volts. Then if even 400 volts is given rated voltage, nothing will happen. If 300 volts comes, what will a low voltage? Due to the low voltage, quality of the noodles is less, you may be hospitalized. That can be checked by your mother. Similarly, if the voltage is less than the plus or minus 10 percentage, then automatically it switch off the supply your connection. That means otherwise what will happen? Due to the low voltage, we are going to draw the more current. That current may be heated the motor, the meter will total will burn out. That situation is protected from your mother. Okay, this whether the voltage is 300 or whether voltage is 500, that can be avoided with the help of your mother. Over voltage or under voltage is taken care of by your mother. That is, we can say that is the NLR, no load release coil. So no load release coil, whenever the low voltage comes, whenever the over voltage comes, then automatically trip the circuit and protect our stator winding from supply. Okay, now coming to the overload OLR. When you are going to demand 4th plate and 5th plate, then your father is taken out. Similarly, if something happened, suppose a rat entered inside, there is an insulation failure, then automatically what will it draw the more current, then short circuit may be occurred. At that condition, your father entered the situation. At that condition, always you monitor the current. So normal current is 10 amperes. Okay, initially you are taken the 1 plate, 2 plates, nothing, no problem. Due to the hungry is heating, but you are demanding the more plates, automatically sense this one. So it is drawing the initially, so 50 amperes. Okay, nothing will happen. If current instead of 50 amperes, it draw the 120 amperes, then automatically it will enter, it will protect the motor from this overload. So that care taken by overload. So whatever suppose it is running, normally you are taking the 1 or 2 plates. So it is taking the current initially the 50 amperes, it is started motor, it is running. So you given the one application to the rotor. Okay, it will draw the current, some overloaded takes place. If you added the further another application, the overloaded increased more. If further added the another application, then overload taken by this motor is a 120% increased above this one. At that condition, OLR automatically detect it and switch off the total supply to this one. Such as that, otherwise what will happen? So due to the overload for the long duration, your total motor will spoil. To avoid this overloading, our overload relay coil is provided inside. It protects the machine from any short circuit occurred inside or overload takes place during the operation. So these are the two protections we are going to provide in dual starter. Okay, dear students, have you understood this thing? Such a way that here also we are going to provide. So how we are going to provide this one? So we will see. Now you may get, sir, how it is possible to, it is not human, how we can observe the overload? That purpose you can see here on. So how we are going to connect the OLR? Overload release coil. Is just like is a release coil. So how it will works? Let us see. Now what is happen? So whatever the current, suppose the current is coming here. Okay, so here the current is going here. Here I can provide the one bimetallic strip. What is that one? Already you have seen in first year level, bimetallic strip connected here. Okay, so this bimetallic strip is connected here. At the same time, so there is some heater is provided here, such a way that some heater is provided, some resistance is provided through which the current is flowing. Okay, so this is nothing but is a bimetallic strip is the resistance. So once the current is passing through this one, It will produce the some heat energy due to the resistance present. This current is flowing and it has some resistance. Okay, then heat is equal to, what is the formula? I square or T by J. Current is flowing this one, load current for example. R is the resistance in the bimetallic strip. T is the time in operation. J is a Joule constant 4.2. Now what is happened here? So now let us take it. Now what is happened? If under normal condition, so this capacity, the bimetallic capacity, for example, load current is equal to 10 amperes. 10 amperes current flows through the resistance is equal to R is equal to 0.01 ohm. Then what is the value? That is called 10 whole square 100 into R is equal to 0.01 into time is equal, for example, take the 10 seconds. Okay, you can make the kilowatt hour, 10 seconds by 4.2. Then we are going to get some temperature. What is the temperature? By you can take it as a rise in temperatures, maybe under room temperature, maybe 40 degrees centigrades. Okay, under normal full load condition. So this 40 degrees temperature raised in the bimetallic strip, unable to movement takes place inside. Now what will happen? Due to this is connected to the, suppose what will happen, rat is bite here, it is connected to the ground. Then what will happen? Short circuit occur. It will draw the current. Suppose we are connected to another load, then instead of 10 amperes, now overload it will take the 15 amperes. Then what is the value? Instead of 10, 15 whole square into 0.01 into same 10 seconds by J is equal 4.2. 15, 225. So we are going to increase that one. So at that condition, temperature may be increased to the, for example, 45 degrees centigrades. This, whenever the temperature increased up to the 40 degrees, the terminal is this one. If 45 degrees temperature is raised, then whatever the bimetallic strip, now it will bend to the one side. So because due to the positive temperature coefficient, linear coefficient of temperature it has that one. So under normal condition, you can see here, under normal temperature, at temperature T is equal to 40 degrees, it is connected straight only. Once at 45 degrees centigrades, so whatever the bimetallic strip here, it is bended, this one, bended here. One is fixed, another is moving. Then instead of this one, so it is opened here. Once it is opened, what will happen? The current is flowing, this circuit is equal to, what is the current? I is equal to 0. If I is equal to 0, what will happen? No current flowing through the coil. Once incoming current is cut by using the bimetallic strip. So motor automatically switched off. So for example, similarly, R phase, Y phase, B phase, all are opened at a time. Okay, so such a way that if overload takes place, the more current will flows through this one, then automatically bimetallic strip bends, open the circuits. Such a way that it protects the motor from the overloaded. You may got one doubt, sir, if the motor is switched off, after current is equal 0 now, after the temperature from the 45 degrees to, it will comes to the normal 35 degrees centigrades. Will it comes to the normal position? Yes, that is the property of the bimetallic strip. If temperature cools, slowly it will comes to this position. But at that condition, initially your mother is monitoring. So no supply given to this one. Once again you have to go operate, switch on the supply. Okay. Suppose you are not nearby this place. You take your agriculture pump set itself. So you have the one well. So you have the one our motor arrangements here. Okay, so this water is flowing here in our agricultural field at night at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So you switch on the motor, the water is flowing. So during this process, some rats entered inside the motor and bites the insulation. Then what will happen? So due to the insulation failures, motor short circuit occurred, then will draw the more current at that condition. At that time you are at your home only. You cannot find at that time. If it is not switch is not operated, then what will happen? It draws continuously overload current due to the short circuit. Then after 1 or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, the motor total will burn. Due to short circuit occur inside, insulation failure due to the rat bite. So this cannot be predicted before. So what to do? If I placed one starter, if rat is bited this your insulation, it will draw the more current, then automatically detected by this bimetallic strip, the heat will takes place and switch off the supply to the your motor. Then you may come in morning, you can see, oh, motor is switched off, what is the problem? So you can check it. Otherwise your motor will totally burn. That can be avoided with help of our starter, with help of our OLR coil provided inside. Okay, so how it will works? So similar to this one. Okay, so it has the 3 terminals here. 3 strips are provided, R phase, Y phase here, and there is a bimetallic strips is provided such as that, and here another terminal is connected. Here is the incoming supply. It is going to the motor terminals. Input, this is the output. Under normal condition, whatever the current is flowing, this is closed, simply the current is flowing. Whatever the heat is developed in bimetallic strip, unable to bend this bimetallic strip. When here overload current, something happened inside, then will draw the more current. That current produces a heat is more, then automatically instead of this one, it will open this one. Similarly, 3 will open. So then the continuity of supply from input to motor is disconnected, then motor is switched off. So this is the mechanism takes place inside our DOL starter with help of bimetallic strip. Now I think you got some idea what is OLR. Okay, overload release coil. Now what about the NLR, sir? No load release coil. NL or no load release coil. That means here the contacts, so these 2 contacts, so here the contacts are connected. Okay, so this one contact, this one contact, this one a contact, this one and a contact. Now it is a common shaft is connected here. Okay, for example, R phase, Y phase, B phase input. Same R phase, Y phase, B phase input. Now here is one coil is connected, relay coil, nothing but the armature coil is connected here, electromagnetic coil. So this is a plunger mechanism. If it is excited, it will pull this direction. If it is pulled this direction, what will happen? So whatever the current is flows this one, what is the current is flow this one, what is the current flow this one, and what is the connection is takes here outside. Okay, this is the mechanism. Now if whenever the supply is given to this one, it is produces a magnetic field, try to attract the plunger inside, then it will move this side. At that condition, these input contacts and output contacts are close to each other. If supply is break to this our coil, then it releases the this arrangement because it has a spring arrangement. There is a spring arrangement. So it tried to move spring this direction, but our plunger magnetic field pull this direction. So up to whenever the supply is available to this coil, it produces the magnetic field. It tried to pull the plunger inside. Then all terminals will close each other. If suddenly they switched off, the circuit is break to our coil, then what will happen? Due to the spring action, this will move this direction. Once it's moved, what will happen? These two terminals are separated with the help of this here. So all whatever the input supply is unable to flows to the output terminals with the help of the switches. That means what is the here? So here our coil is monitoring. Your coil is the main person. You can operate it till the coil is healthy condition. That means it requires some current is flowing through this one and here, entering and leaving healthy condition. It will try to pull this mechanism inside. Then all contacts are closed. Then whatever the input some supply to our motor terminals, so happy it will works. If the current is disturbed to our coil, the coil unable to produce a flux, then whatever the deflecting torque here 0, then what will happen? Due to the spring pressed here, spring action, the mechanism, the contacts will go this side. So this side, then all contacts are opened. If it is open, what will happen? So no current flowing outside to the motor. So this is R phase, Y phase, B phase. So what is this one, sir? So this is the mechanism connected this coil. Okay, let us see that one. So here your aim is to provide the supply to the coil. So this is called, coil is the main coil. Okay, so here dear students, so this is OLR and NLR coils are the common in case of a dual starter, star delta starter or soft starter, anywhere. So we require this, what is this one? Okay, so sometimes we can use also in auto transformer also provided with this special things. Okay, and rotor resistance also, this is common. What is the OLR, NLR? The function is same thing. Okay, let us see one diagram. You can easily understand how it is connected physically. Okay, now you can take another color. Now let us assume this is the for example, this is take the R phase. Better to take the colors also. This is R phase. Okay, and here is a R phase. No. R phase, connect one switch, here connect the one terminals, here connect the terminals, this one. Okay, next Y phase, switch, terminals, Y, B terminal, B terminal, this terminal. Okay, this is the phases, R phase, Y phase, B phase. Sometimes we can use the neutral also. You can see the neutral. You take the color black, color, the neutral. Yeah, take this one. Okay, so this is the thing. So what has happened? This is the common terminals, IC, TP, N switch. IC TPN switch, and neutral is connected to the ground here. Okay. Now here these are the terminals, and here connected the start here. Okay. So here I connected the one coil, it has a 2 terminals. Okay. Now at the same time I can use it. Okay, I can use this one. It's connected to this ground, for example, neutral is ground here. Now here is connected the another terminals, extra terminals. I connected the special this one. Now this is connected here, and one is connected to this one, and this is connected to the, for example, you can see one, this is connected to the ground. That means, so this ground, this is the same. Now it is given to the supply to this one here. Okay. Then whatever the coil, this supply, this is given to this one, connected here, and I placed the one start push button, green button. Okay, start push here, connected the start. Okay, now it is connected to the one terminals. This is known as the, we can see is the NC, normally closed switch. We can say that is a stop switch. This is a start, green button, start knob, this is a stop. Okay, then I can use a one bimetallic strip here. Okay, bimetals OLR, nothing but OLR. I can say OLR, bimetallic strip. Then if it is possible, I can use the one protective MCB also. Sometimes I can use the MCB also, protection for overload current purpose, or we can use the fuse also, MCB. Okay, then I can connect it to the one phase, any one phase. I can take the connector to the B phase. So this is a basic circuit diagram. You can see here how it will works. Okay, dear students, now you can see it. This is the concept of this one, dual starter. What will happen? Under normal condition, when you are close the switch, the current is passing through this one, current is flowing, current is passing. Okay, up to it will come here it will wait. Now what will happen? These switches are open, here connected the our motor terminals. Motor terminals connected. Now what is happen? The coil has to supply. Main your coil supply is required. How you are going to connect it? So you can see it. So supply is coming here. You can take supply is coming here. MCB is closed, and OLR is closed, and NC is closed. That means the current is flowing here, and it will come here. It is coming here. So that means the switch is opened. So what will happen? The current is not flowing here. At the same time, so what will happen? And it switch is opened here. Now suppose first case. Under normal condition, if start button is pushed, green button is pushed inside, then what will happen? These two terminals short circuit occurred by without the switch. Then whatever the current is coming up to this stage is flowing through this one, and flowing through the coil, and it is going to the neutral. That is the, here is the neutral. That means the current is flowing through the coil, circuit is closed. If circuit is closed, it produces its flux. That flux try to pull the plunger inside, the knob will comes here. Once it is coming this side, what will happen? This is short circuited, this is shorted, this is shorted, this is shorted. Clear? Okay. Then what will happen? The motor will draw R current, Y current, B current, then motor will run normal speed. So this green switch, there is a spring mechanism. Once you have pushed and released, then it will try to move this direction at a time. During the pressing time, the current is flowing this one, it will try to pull this direction. Then what will happen? So these two contacts are closed. Then once if it goes this direction, the circuit is opened once again. If during this it open, the whatever the current comes here, it is flows to through this one. That means circuit is closed. Even it is opened, the current is bypassed through this switch contact, because the switch contact is closed here. So till this closed, it is energized, then continuously pull this mechanism inside only. So till the motor will runs. Okay, this is the operation of dual starter. Suppose I want to stop this motor, first case. So first case I want to stop, forcefully, manually I want to stop it. What will happen? So here stop button, if you push this stop button, what will happen? So this circuit is breaked here. What will happen? So under normal, this is this one. So what will happen? I am moving this direction. This is a touched. You can see this one clearly. So what is happening here? So this will what is happened? Then the button will open here. Once it's opened, no current is flowing from this side to this side. It may not be bypassed here. If even it closes, no current is flowing. Then what will happen? So no current is flowing through the coil. If there is no flowing through the coil, there is no electromagnetic field, there is no attraction plunger mechanism inside. Then automatically, due to the spring action, it will try to move this direction. It releases the total contacts. If release the total contacts, no current is flowing through this phase to this phase, this phase to this phase, this phase. The circuit is opened. Then motor will stop. Okay. Dear students, once again I am going to tell you it. Till closed condition, the energized the coil, try to keep this contacts inside. During this process, these two contacts are closed each other. Once I want to stop this motor, then I pushed the normally closed button, now opened it. Normally closed, now I forcefully open it. Then circuit is breaked here. Then once circuit is breaked, no current is flowing through the coil. Coil is de-energized. Then it is unable to attract the plunger inside. Solenoid and plunger inside. Then the contacts releases. Then once it releases, the contacts are opened. Input and output terminals are opened. No current flowing through the motor. The motor will stop. This is the stop purpose. Suppose overload protection is required, or you can see the coil, the no load release coil also I required. At that condition, okay, I stopped this one, I know it. Now how it works, the no load release. So what will happen? Once under normal condition, what is the voltage? Here we have the phase and neutral 230 volts is given. So it energizes the coil, then attract the plunger inside, the contacts is closed. If what will happen, instead of low voltage, instead of 230 volts, the voltage may be, it comes to the plus or minus 10%, that may be 150 volts for example. If 150 volts comes, that means in 3 phase instead of 400 volts, now it is going to the reduced voltage of 280 volts only. Correspondingly, single phase voltage also reduced to the, let us assume 150 volts. What will happen? If 150 volts comes, then the current is energized to the coil, but whatever the flux is produced, before produced is a 230 volts, proportional flux is produced. Now 150 volts is given, proportional flux is produced also. This proportional flux, whatever the flux produced due to the 150 low voltage, the flux is unable to pull the contacts inside. Then what will happen? Under normal condition, if the voltage is suddenly reduced or switched off supply, voltage is equal 0. Then what will happen? So whatever the flux produced is called reduced or 0, then automatically it will release the contacts. Once it releases due to the spring action, the contacts are opened such a way that we can protect the under no volt voltage. No voltage is applied or low voltage is applied, then automatically protected our motor by releasing the contacts. Okay, this is a second case. We stopped the motor and we used the no load release coil also. Now coming to the overload coil. So what is the overload coil here? OLR. Here is a bimetallic strip is provided. How is the bimetallic strip on under normal condition? Whatever the current is flowing here, so then the heat will develop here. The heat unable to bend the strip. If the motor is drawing the more current, the load current is flowing through this one. Automatically, due to the bimetallic strip, heat will take space. Open this one. If it is open, automatically it detects the coil. No supply is given to this one, then automatically it will open this one. Okay, so this is a different companies having the concept is this one. Different companies are providing the different circuit modifications. Here I used the coil single phase. Some manufacturers may be used the 400 volts, that is a line to line voltage they will directly take. That means R phase, Y phase, B phase they will manage. They will give the 400 volts to the coil. Now in this case I used the R phase, Y phase, B phase in addition to the neutral, and that neutral is connected the single phase coil I am used here. Concept is this one. Okay, so dear students, so this is the mechanism takes place inside a D-volt starter. Okay, so in D-volt starter, so overload release coil and no load release coil you have observed. Similar to the in 3-pun starter also same thing. Overload release coil and no load release coil, we used the two coils at the 3-pun starter. Similar operation is takes place inside our D-volt starter. Okay, so now I think the time is more, so we will enter to our topic. So what is this one? Now we can see let us what we have seen, so we will see in the PowerPoint. What is it? This one, the direct online starter. For small capacity motors having the rating less than the 5 HP, the motor can withstand high starting current initially due to its robust construction. Motors are directly switched on from supply lines, hence the starter is called direct online starter, that is a DOL starter. What is the function of the DOL starter? So it does not reduce the starting voltage or current. It consists of overload coil OLR, which protect the motor from overload, and no load release coil, which protect the motor from low voltage conditions. How overload protection takes place, how low voltage condition takes place, we have just now we have seen. Okay, these all two coils are provided in a box, you can see here. Okay, so outside you are going to operate only red and green button, push buttons on and off. So red is the normally NC, normally closed one. Green is the normally open, NO. And whereas this red and green is the indicators. So whether the supply is on, the motor is on or off, it can indicate it. At the same time, what is the current flowing through the motor is indicated by the ammeter at above this one. Voltage and ammeter both will, you can see this connection. So this meter will indicate the voltage as well as the current, both you can see here. And this is the indicator, the motor is switched on. This is the power supply is on. So here what will happen? The green button for the on purpose, that is a normally NO, normally open switch. This is a N, normally closed NC switch. Okay, everything inside. So we what we have seen just a circuit diagram provided inside. Outside we are going to see only this one. Okay, if you want to open this one, you want to see that one, where is the current setting, where is the no load release coil, where is the overload release coil, where is this mechanism, that is that's the knobs from starting to ending, so switches. So you want to see it, let us see it. So let us open this is the one thing. So outside you can observe this is a DOL starter. DOL starter. Only 2 switches are available, simple. In previous case there is a protection. Okay. Now if it is opened, we are going to see this. So what is inside? If you want to see it, you can see it. You can see here. So what is that one? So here you can see this is the one coil, you can see here. Current setting we can take it. So whether current setting, how much current it has to withstand. And there is a switches, you can see that these are the switches. Just we have seen this one, and this one, the switches. This one. So these knobs are nothing but here these 2 switches are provided here. Okay. Now here connected the one bimetallic strip. So you can see here is this switch to this switch, there is a inside, there is a bimetallic strip is provided. And there is a coil is provided here, you can see the coil inside, there is a coil arrangement takes place inside. And it is connected through the mechanism, input and output mechanism here. So this it moves up and down, simply closing the switches. Okay. If you observe this thing, we will see in its circuit diagram. Okay. So you want to see more, you can see this is also same thing. Okay. So what is happened? You can observe. So here is some bimetallic strip is provided. You can observe, dear students. Okay. These are the 2 contacts. So this input output contacts close each other. These contacts. And from this one it is connected to the coil mechanism. So the coil is inside here. So it will move this direction, plunger mechanism. Okay. There is the bimetallic strip for the overload purpose. The on off purpose we are going to use this coil. And input is come the R phase, Y phase, B phase input is coming. So you can see this yellow wire and blue wire is connected, the coil is connected to the line to line here connected. That is the 400 volts line is connected here. You can see clearly the outside of this one. So what is this one? It's a contactor green, normally open. This mechanism normally open switch. It's a start button. Where is the start? So this is a normally open. The start is a green valve and stop is a red one. And you can see the OLR, this is the overload release NC, normally closed switch, that is a bimetallic strip, you can see here. And the normally green button, you can see this green button here provided. And current adjuster also provided here, this current adjuster, nothing but here the current adjust we can takes place, where the overload maybe takes place 100% or 120%, we can observe. For example, this is a motor is designed for the 10 amps. So that means at 11 amps it may be trip, 12 amps it may be trip, 13 amps it may be trip. So I can adjust this overload. Suppose I kept the 13 amps, 10 amps rated current, till 13 amps it will run, such as that I can adjust this terminal here, all we can adjust these terminals. There is some small knob is provided, just a part. By changing that one we are going to bimetal strip operation can operate. Okay. So you can see our circuit diagram also. This is the physical values of our starters. Now let us see our circuit diagram, how the power circuit and control circuit takes in a DOL starter. We will draw this diagram. Same, this is whatever the we have seen. We will draw the R phase, Y phase, B phase and contacts by metal strips is connected to the coil. So, I want to draw that figure. So, then you can see here. What is here? So, here you can see this is a fuse protection, that is the MCB. Latest test we are using the fuse protection, that is a circuit breaker, nothing but. Next, another is a overload protection bimetallic strips. You can see this is a bimetallic strip arrangement. This is a MCB, nothing but. And this is a mechanism, it can move this direction or this direction. This direction is by the spring, this direction is from the coil. And this is the motor. So, it operate this direction. So, that can be taken care of by our coils, this overload coils, this thing. Okay. Here you can see the simple circuit. What is that one? They normally open, that is the green button. Okay. Here what will a start button? You can see this is the mechanism start button. Okay. Now this is a stop button, red button, stop button. This is the normally closed overload protection bimetallic strip arrangement. And the contactor means this is a from this to this we are going to contact. This it can withstand this current rating, contactor, and it is connected to the neutral. Okay, this is a coil, nothing but. So whatever this coil mechanism is provided here. So dear students, so you require the one coil arrangement now. We require the one coil arrangement. I require this coil mechanism. It will try to move this direction. So this connection takes place in this diagram. How the supply is because the supply, it has to take the supply, it has to go to the another. So we R phase and Y phase, in between supply should be flows. During this mechanism phase, in between the two phases, so we are going to provide this for example P phase, one phase, this N neutral, whether we can use the single phase also. Okay, R phase and neutral you can take it. So from the R phase it is going to the connected to the normally open start button, and this is a stop button, and this is a bimetallic NC, then a contactor. After that we are going to connect the neutral. So the contactor can be operated with help of this one. This contactor is nothing but this one. Okay, so very simple dear students. So you want to see the in further simple coil, you can see this also. You can see it is a very easy dual starter. So how it works? So here you can see R phase, okay, R phase, Y phase, B phase, and this is a main switch you can see here. So that is the main operation switch. From this one you can see the thermal overload relay bimetallic strip, you can see here bimetallic strip. Okay, up to the terminals R phase, Y phase, B phase terminals you can see, and here the output terminals to the motor. This is the input, this is the output of the motors. If it comes touches, that means whatever the current is flowing this direction. So it will go such a way that at the same time these two contacts are closed. What will happen? You can see under normal open condition, what will happen? So motor is, this is a rotor, this is a stator. Okay. So under this condition, what will happen? No current is flowing from this side to this side here. These switches are opened. But so during this our coil, you can see the magnetizing coil. Where is this? This magnetizing coil. So it has the two terminals. The current has to flow. So what will happen? Let us take one phase here. You can take this phase. So it is going. It is connected to this one here. Okay. Now normally open. So no closed path. Stopped here only. Now what happened? So I taken the another phase. So I taken this phase color. You can take the another color. Now I can take this one phase. Stopped here only. Okay. Now you take the another phase is going to this direction and is going this here, and is connected to the coil. Current is entered in this coil. It is coming here. Okay, it is coming here. Okay, normally closed. Okay, coil is closed. Coil is closed. So what will happen? There is a difference between this area. Okay, so what is happen? Here the coil is opened here. So up to the coil second terminal is coming here. Okay, now it is opened. No current is flowing. What will happen? It will goes to this one, and is ready to here. And after that it is connected to here. So but no current is flowing here. If I close this normally open switch here, I close here, then what will happen? The circuit is closed here. If I close it, then what is happen? Whatever the current which is coming from one phase, the red cutter, this is going, and this is current is flowing here, and current flowing here. Then so current is flowing this one. So from these two phases are connected across the coil. Then coil will produce a flux. Then will try to move the contacts from left to right. Then all these switches are closed. This R phase, Y phase, B phase, all contacts are closed. Then whatever the input comes, the motor will run. Once I move this one, this is spring action. Even then it is opened, what will happen? The current is directly supplied to this one. Directly, whatever the supply is directly connected to here. Then coil is energized continuously. Okay, suppose I want to open it. So normally closed contact. If I open here, so no current flowing to this coil. Then contacts will release, motor will stop. Okay, so this already we have seen a number of times. Now, what is the operation? In the above diagram, in this diagram, no NO means contact is normally open, a start button. Where is the start button here? So this is a NO means normally open. Contact is normally open, start button, green button. NC is normally closed button, that is stop button, red color button. At start, the normally open is pressed. I pressed this one. The coil gets energized and attract the contactor. This attract the contactor inside. So the stator directly gets supply and keeps the contactor in on position. So whatever the current is flowing is on position. So motor is running under normal condition. When I want to stop it, then I can push the normally closed button to upside. Then the circuit is breaked here. When NC is pressed, the circuit gets open, due to which the coil gets de-energized, the motor gets switched off from the supply. Once it is switched off, then it will come to this direction. No current, once again the terminals are open. The motor will stop. Okay. So this is the operation of dual starter. Now condition under overload condition. Under first case, under overload condition. Under overload conditions, the current drawn by the motor increases, due to which there is a excessive heat is produced inside the motor winding. The thermal relays, where is the thermal relays? This is the thermal relays. The thermal relays get opened due to high temperature, protecting the motor from overload conditions. So already we have seen bimetallic strip. Okay, so such a that, so these switches will opened. If it is open, no current flowing through the motor, such a that we can protect from the overload conditions. Okay, now second case, short circuit protection. If some short circuit occurred inside, face to face fault occurred inside, insulation failure inside, then short circuit maybe takes place. If at that condition, it will draw the more and more current. At that condition, we can use the fuses are provided for short circuit conditions. So we can provide the fuses or MCB, then automatically trips the total input supply to the motor. Okay, such a that we can protect it. If supply fails, no load, third case, the short circuit protection and no load. If the supply fails or low voltage comes situations, the circuit gets opened and is called as under voltage or no load protection. If voltage is unable to produce the maximum flux, then what will happen? The contacts will come this direction. So that means the coil is required the rated voltage only. If under voltage comes, then the de-energized, the flux which is produced unable to pull the contacts inside, then it will release, then contacts to open, circuit is opened. Okay, so under no load condition, if the supply fails or low voltage situations, the circuit gets open and is called as under voltage or no voltage protection. Dear students, so these are the operation of dual starter. Okay, so let us summarize this thing. So what we have seen here. Okay, so now, so what is the operation? In the above diagram, no load contact is normally open and NC is normally closed. At start, no load is pressed, the coil gets energized and attracts the contactor. So the stator directly gets supplied from the supply. Okay, so when NC is pressed, the circuit gets opened, due to which the coil gets de-energized and the motor gets switched off from the supply. Under overload conditions, the current drawn by the motor increases, due to which there is a excessive heat is produced. The thermal relays get opened due to high temperature, protecting the motor from overload conditions. Now, during the under short circuit conditions, the fuses are provided for short circuit protections. And under no volt condition, so under no volt condition, if the supply fails or low voltage situations, the circuit gets open and is called as under voltage or no voltage protections. Okay, these are the some salient points regarding to the operation of a dual starter. Now, I want to know that, so practically in calculations, the torque developed on starting the motor by direct switching method, dual starter. So as we know that, so the relation between the P2, that is the rotor input, slip and copper losses in the rotor. So we will take that relations, we deduce what is the torque depend upon watt factors. Okay, so we can see that. Now we know that, so what is the happening here? So as we know that, whatever the stator and stator, from the stator P1 primary, P1 is given, that is the root 3 VLIL cos phi, and from this one the P2 comes, rotor output, rotor input, the P2, whatever the P1 minus stator copper losses, then we are going to the P2. P2 is the input to the rotor, output of the stator. This P2, from the P2 we are going to get that some PM after losing the some copper losses. P2 minus rotor copper losses, we are going to get the PM, mechanical power generated in that. From mechanical power, we are going to get the P out, that is equal to, so from friction and windage losses in between. These are the power flow diagram we already have seen. Now, what is the relation? P2 rotor input, PM mechanical energy generated in the rotor maximum, and what are the rotor copper losses. So we know the what is the formula. So that formula we know that Here the rotor input is equal to P2, that is called omega t by 60. The torque is directly proportional. What is the torque here? So T is directly proportional to the P2 rotor input. If rotor input is more, the torque also more. But we know the what is the relation. This is the relation. So this is the relation already we know that. So P2 rotor input, the copper losses, rotor copper losses, mechanical power generated in the rotor is equal to 1:S:1 minus S. But we know that P2, so what is the copper loss of rotor is equal to P2 into S times. We are going to do the copper loss in the rotor. Okay. So what is the copper loss? Copper loss I can write it, that is equal 3I square 2R R2 rotor resistance, rotor current, and we are going to this one. We are going to the copper loss. Okay, this is the copper loss. The copper loss is this one, and is equal P2 into S. Okay, suppose I want the P2. P2 is equal to 3I square R2 by S. I am going to the rotor input. So already we know that T is directly proportional to the P2. Okay, then I can write it that T is directly proportional to, what is that? This is I2, that is equal to I square by S. That means T is directly the square of the current and inversely from the slip. Okay, so this relation already we have seen. So simply, so T is directly proportional to the I square S by T if the rotor resistance R2 is constant. Now the rotor current I2 is proportional to the stator current. How? So here I1 is equal to vector sum of I0 plus I2 dash. The rotor current refer to the primary side. Then I can write it, the torque directly proportional to the, instead of I2 whole square, I can write the I1 whole square by S. Okay. So E proportional constant if we are taken out, T is equal to some constant and I1 whole square by S, I am going to get it. Okay. Finally, I am going to T is directly proportional to I1 whole square by S, or I can get it T is equal K I1 whole square by S, where K is the constant. Now, based on this one, so S is equal to 1 and initially at starting. So what will happen? S is equal to 1 and I1 is equal to only starting current. This is the starting current. The starting torque, then I starting torque is equal to, I can write it, so K into I starting whole square. That means the starting torque is directly proportional to the square of the starting current. Starting current is 5 to 7 times, you can see it. Okay. Now second case, on full load condition, under normal condition, then S is equal to S into F, SF. What is the full load condition? So full load condition. Then I1 is equal to I full load current. At that condition, the torque, the full load torque is equal to K into I full load current whole square by SF. Okay. So this is a thing. Now, so we therefore, so we can, there is a relation between I starting by I full load, already we have seen. So this is some relation. We are going to equation 1 by equation 2. So we are going to get these values. Okay. So this is the very easy to understand this, dear students. Okay. Finally, so we can write it equation. What is the equation? So T starting by T full load is equal to ISC current, full load current, the starting current by I full load current whole square into S full load slip. This is the equation. Okay. Suppose I want the starting torque, I can move this I full load torque this side. Okay, such that I can easily calculate this one. So when the motor is direct switched on to the rated voltage, the starting current, I starting current ISC initially, that is ISC short circuit current, because secondary of the rotor is short circuited. The starting torque is equal, T starting is called T full load into ISC by I full load square into SF. That is the equation just now we have seen. It shows that the starting torque varies as a square of the starting current. Okay, so these are the some equations, dear students, already we have discussed in previous many times. So these are the what are the internal parts, each part what is the purpose, how it will works under normal condition, if overload occurred what will happen, if low voltage will come so what will happen, and how the torque is related with the secondary current, primary current, and relation between the full load torque by starting torque we already studied. So these are the benefit of dual starters. Even then it has some disadvantages. These disadvantages regarding to the electrical point of view and mechanical point of view. Few disadvantages also it contains. What are the electrical disadvantages? Let us see. So disadvantage regarding to the electrical, first one is a high inrush current, typically 6 into full load, which can cause a severe several problems. That is a 5 to current will comes, we are not controlling that starting current. Second one is the necessities over sizing of the installation. So what will happen? The sizing is particularly important on generator and UPS fed supplies. We require some over sizing of the installation is required. And another one is at the same time insulation value is also required to withstand this temperature. And third one is limits in the expansion. So we cannot expand takes place during this up to 5 HP only. And last one is reduces services life of the electrical components due to the high current. The stress is developed inside is more, the life of the all components will decreases in electrical point of view. Okay, and coming to the mechanical point of view, so excessive applied starting torque, typically 2.5 times of the full load, that impact on the motor. So that means the starting torque is very high and increases the wear on drive chain components and reduces the service life of the mechanical components. Okay, these are the some mechanical disadvantages in dual starter. Okay, these are the topics regarding to the dual starter. Dear students, so what are the OLR and NLR, bimetallic strip, coil operation, everything is present in all starters. So, but it is the basic things, that is why I expanded in this class, elaborated in this class. Next class we are going to cover remaining those starters. Okay. So, let us summarize what we have seen in this session. So, we have discussed about a dual starter function with the current and torque graph, the circuit diagram of a dual starter, in single phase line to line how the coil is connected, working of a dual starter, and finally the torque equation derived that depend upon the watt factors. And we calculate, we have also elaborated disadvantages of a dual starter. Okay. So, dear students, these are the few points regarding to the dual starter, which is used very familiar in our AC motors. Okay. Thank you for listening my class, dear students.